The U.S. shot it out of the sky off the South Carolina coast, with President Biden saying they waited for it to be safely over water.
I told them to shoot it down.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
But the recommendation
they said to me, let's wait till the safest place to do it.
According to Fox's Lucas Tomlinson, the challenge now is retrieving the balloon.
This is the weight of...
The following is a presentation of WGAA Sports.
Cedartown High School basketball.
He dunks it! Lays it up, got it! Three-pointer try.
Yes! Cedartown wins!
It's time for Cedartown High School Bulldogs basketball, right here on WGAA 106.1 FM and AM 1340. Broadcasting online at WGAAradio.com and streaming on the TuneIn Radio app and Facebook Live. And now, let's head down to courtside for today's action.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
It's 3-0. Welcome into Cedartown High School Lady Dogs basketball here on the Big Double A. A little late getting on. They did not have a national anthem or a starting lineup, which is what they normally do to start this game. So
Which is absolutely mind-boggling to me.
I don't understand, but we're just a little bit behind, but the Lady Dogs trail 3-0. Rockmart on the other end. Hyndman is up, and the basket is good. So now it's going to be 5-0. Hyndman will go to the free throw line with a chance to make it a three-point play, and Marion Barrow, I believe, picks up her first foul of the afternoon. Starting five for your Lady Dogs: Barrow, Barclay, Charlie Todd, Leah Washington, and Chastity Washington. No Asia Ware today. 6-0.
I would have gladly volunteered to do the announcing, but nobody told me anything.
Nope. Barclay will get it to Charlie Todd. Todd's going to need to get across the half-court line. She's going to try to drive up the left side, but she is going to be fouled by number 3, Lauren Clark. That's going to be her first. Starting five for the Lady Jackets: Huckabee, Myers, Clark, and Hyndman. 6:55 left to play here in the opening period. Haven Barclay top of the key, left side, Chastity Washington. Washington tried to feed it underneath to Leah Washington, but it's stolen. Here come the Lady Jackets. It's Sky Myers. She's going to drive it, take it between 3 defenders, and they're going to get her for the charge, as they should.
Once again, Chastity Washington right there to take the brunt of the charge, did a great job of setting up that foul.
And, you know, Andrew, that's something we talked about last night, that you don't see that a lot, but that time Myers was just out of control, but she steals the inbounds pass. We kick it over the left side to Huckabee. Huckabee's going to fire a three. That's short, right off the front of the rim. But Hyndman there in a good position for the rebound and the putback, and she is fouled. So Hyndman back to the free throw line. This will be her second trip already. She's 1 for 1 so far. Sam Branch alongside Andrew Carter. The last home game for the Lady Dogs this season. First one hits the front of the rim and crawls in, 7-0. Lady Dogs and the Bulldogs will both be on the road to close out the season. They'll go to Southeast Whitfield on Tuesday, and then a makeup game against the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes.
I think that's just boys only.
That would be wonderful. I believe you're right. Barclay brings it across the timeline, left side to Barrow. Barrow pulls the trigger on a three, no good. Charlie Todd tried to get the rebound on the backside, but it was taken by Lauren Clark. Clark will give it up to Myers. Myers across the timeline. Right at the top of the key to the left side to Williams. Williams gets it back up to Hyndman, top of the key. They'll go back to Williams. Williams going to fire one from the left angle, and that three-pointer is good.
10-0 with 6:05 to play here in the first quarter. And timeout is called on the floor. We'll take this word from our Bulldog sponsors here on the Cedartown High School Bulldog Sports Network.
Bradford's Drugstore on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drugstore, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs, right here on the Big Double A.
Marion Barrow gives it into Haven Barclay. Barclay is going to bring it up the court for the Lady Dogs. She's going to drop across the half-court line. Left side to Leah Washington. Washington underneath the basket, and they're going to get her for the travel. Lady Dogs just almost forcing to try to get something to go, and they commit a turnover underneath the basket.
Well, Sam, what's happening, Rockmart's exploiting Cedartown's weaknesses right now, and that's what they did the first time we played them. And they're doing it very effectively right now.
Myers underneath to Hyman, back outside to Myers. She fires a three. That one's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Haven Barclay. By Marion Barrow. She'll give it to Haven Barclay. Barclay across the timeline, left side to Barrow. Barrow back to Barclay. Barclay to Washington. She fires a three. Good-looking shot by Chastity Washington, and she gets that one to go.
She had a three last night that was pretty. That was even prettier than the one she had the previous night. Cedartown's on the board, 10-3.
Over to the left side. They'll go to Zori Williams. Williams can hit from beyond the arc. She's already done so once in this game. Chastity Washington with a steal. She's going to push it up the far side of the court. Stop. Three on the way. No good. Off the front of the rim. Barclay saved it from going out, but she gave it right back to the Lady Jackets. And so Rockmart will push it up the floor.
I do like that call, though. She was wide open from three, and she's been hot from over there, but she just was a bit short off the front of the iron.
Hyman to the outside to Huckabee. Huckabee will go to the left side now to Clark. Clark on the left side. She's going to work it back to the middle of the floor. Now they'll go to Zori Williams. Williams back to Clark, top of the key. She's going to drive the lane, try to put it up. It was blocked. Haven Barclay comes away with it. Barclay's going to split a defender, loses it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Rockmart. We got fortunate on that.
Coach Clark over there is pleading his case with the official that ball is out on Cedartown, but to no avail.
No, and I think he had a good argument. He had a good look at it. We give it right back to him, though. Marion Barrow gets called for the travel, which is very rare for her, but she commits the turnover, and it comes with just under 4.5 minutes to play here in the opening period. Rockmart will check it into Sky Myers. She'll bring it across the timeline. Now they'll go to Hyman right at the foul line, over to the right side. Three on the way. That one is going to be short. Charlie Todd was there for a moment, and so was Hyman. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Rockmart. Cedartown will get the ball back. They'll check it in to Barclay. Barclay to Leah Washington. Back to Barclay. Now they'll get Barrow. Barrow tries to feed underneath to Charlie Todd. Todd tried to get it to the lane to Washington. She turns, shot, no good. It was blocked, no call. She gets her own rebound, gets a shot up, and it's no good. Emma Hyman on the rebound for the Lady Jackets. Sky Myers on the other end gives it to Williams. Back to Myers. She fires a three. That one looked good. It was just a little long off the back of the rim. Haven Barclay with the rebound. She's going to drive and loses it out of bounds. Last touch by Barclay.
I think she dribbled it off her foot, and then it rolled out of bounds, and that's what the call was. Rockmart gets the ball back, up 10-3 over Cedartown, about halfway through the first quarter.
Sky Myers over to the right side to Clark. Lauren Clark thought about a three. She pulled it back down, goes to Hyman. Hyman back outside to Clark. Clark will now go to the right side to Huckabee. Now back to Clark. Clark on the right angle. Now she'll work it underneath to Hyman. Hyman's going to try to drive the baseline. She gives it up. They pass it back outside to Williams. Williams from three again. That one is no good. It hit off the rim and then off the back of the backboard, so that is a turnover, and it will be Cedartown basketball with subs coming in for Rockmart. That's going to be number 34, I believe. Zion Turner will check in for the Lady Jackets.
And number 30, Jacambry Alexander, also in there as well.
Over to the right side to Barclay. Now back to Barrow. Barrow with a jumper from the 20 feet out, it looked like. Fadeaway shot by Charlie Todd is no good. But she was fouled. She will go to the free throw line and shoot two, and they get the foul on number 4.
Yeah, Zori Williams, the junior, picks up her first foul. And that's the third team foul for Rockmart in this quarter.
Only points on the board so far for the Lady Dogs have been from a Chastity Washington, I should say, three-pointer. But Charlie Todd adds to it there by connecting on the first half of her two free throws, 10-4. And we'll have a momentary stoppage in play as Chastity gets her shoe tied back, and now we're ready to go. Good opportunity for the Lady Dogs to steal one here at home against Rockmart and pick up their first win of the season. They played well the last time these two teams met. Second shot by Todd is no good. Rebounded by Rockmart.
Cedartown played well last night against Central. The score wouldn't show it just because the Central pulled away, but Lady Dogs had it close with the Lady Lions in that game, and Rockmart certainly is a team that Cedartown could have some success against.
That's right. Clark was trying to work it into the lane to Hyman, and it's off of Barclay's foot, so that'll be a kick ball. Rockmart will get it back. They'll check it into Sky Myers. Now they'll go to Hyman. They try the give and go, but it's not there. They have to go back outside, and they get Clark for the double. That'll be a turnover. Cedartown lucky there. Now we need to turn this into some points. Lady Dogs trail by 6. Rockmart got off to a hot start to get things underway, but Cedartown has really slowed them down here lately. Top of the key to Barclay. They work it underneath to Chastity Washington. That foul, or that pass, was just off of her fingertips. Hoping for a foul there, but no call. Out of bounds, it'll be a turnover.
Pass was a bit high there too, Sam, and with the pressure from the defense, just wasn't able to get that one pulled down.
Sky Myers working to her right. Now she'll go to the corner to Alexander. Pass it back out to Myers. Myers in a drive. That little floater won't go. Hyman with the rebound, the putback, no good. And it's out of bounds. Went off about 3 players before it finally goes out of bounds, where Coach Levi Wigley is there to pick it up and pass it into the ref. It will stay Rockmart basketball. Inbounds pass goes to Sky Myers. Myers, she'll work to the top of the key. They'll go to the left side, stolen. Chastity Washington with it. She's all by herself. Pull up. She thought about launching the 3, but then she tried to feed underneath to Barclay for an easier basket, but it's knocked away by Rockmart, so it'll stay Cedartown basketball. But a good steal, a good defensive aggression there by Chastity Washington. Inbounds pass goes to Barclay. She fires a 3. It looked good, no good though. Hyman comes away with the rebound. Chastity Washington on the steal. It was a lazy pass. Rockmart didn't realize that she was all by herself, or she thought she was all by herself. And Washington's there for the steal, but then she walks with it.
Because she had 2 defenders right on top of her. Cedartown was on the other end, defending the other side.
And again, no help to get her out of that one. Sky Myers, top of the key. She's going to work to her right. She's going to try to drive. She throws up a little shot, no good. Charlie Todd comes away with it. She'll give it up to Barclay. Barclay will bring it down the floor over to the left side to Barrow. Barrow wide open for a 3. It is up and it is no good. Rebounded by Chastity Washington. Washington, she's going to fire one from just inside the 3-point line. It's up and no good. And we've got a timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. You're listening to Cedartown High School basketball here on the Cedartown Bulldog Network, the Big AA.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, and that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Livewire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Livewire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Livewire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and priced to sell. Livewire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
10-4 is your score. Out of the timeout. Right at 1:15 left to play here in the first period. Lady Dogs trail against the Lady Jackets of Rockmart High School. Over to the right side to Clark. Clark will go to the top side now to Sky Myers. She'll work back to the top of the key. Now they'll go to the left to Alexander. In the wing to Zori Williams. Now they'll go to Hyman. Hyman in the lane. Kick out to Myers. Myers, 3 on the way, and that one is good.
That's just a good shot there. She had pressure in her face there from Barclay, but still made that go on the pass and shoot.
Barclay over to the right side of Chastity Washington, just off of her hands. The good news is, though, that is Rockmart's first points in a little bit of a drought they were having there in the first. Cedartown was able to put up some good defensive schemes against Rockmart to slow them down. Clark on the right wing. She's going to go back to the top to Sky Myers. Myers will work back to the middle of the floor, top of the key. Now they'll go to Hyman. Try to give it back to Myers. It's knocked away by Barclay, but Clark picks it up. Now it's just stolen. Marion Barrow just picked her pocket and then gave it to Barclay. Barclay back to Barrow. Barrow drives the baseline. Little floater, no good. Rebounded by Alexander. She'll give it up to Sky Myers. Myers will bring it down the floor for the Lady Jackets across the timeline. 10 seconds to play. Top of the key. Right side to Clark. Clark to Myers. A long 3 on the way, and that one is good.
Wow.
She hit that one from Rockmart.
Off the glass, too. Just a good-looking shot there to close out the first quarter. and Rockmart leads it by 12, 16-4 as we head to quarter number 2. This is Cedartown High School basketball on the Cedartown High School Bulldogs Sports Network.
Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for nearly a century. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call for tee time 770-748-9671, located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buchanan Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, Cedar Valley Golf Course.
One of the pillars of a strong community is knowing your neighbors. We believe it's important to know your neighbor, to know that the person down the street selling you your car is the person you'll see grilling with you at the block party. It's important to be a part of a community, and Peach State Ford is proud to be a part of historic Cedartown, Rockmart, and Rome, and even prouder to be rated one of the best in the country in customer service. Nobody knows trucks or people like Peach State Ford.
2076 Rockmart Highway, Cedartown, 866-872-6660.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Lady Dogs will have it to start this second period of play. 16-4 is your score. Lady Dogs trail here at home. Final home game of the 2022-2023 season for this Lady Dogs team. Haven Barclay tries to work underneath the Todd, but Hyman gets in there for the steal. She gives it up to Sky Myers. Myers is going to drive the lane. Now she'll work it back outside. She wants to go to the top of the key. She'll go to the left side to Alexander. Now they'll work it back to the middle to Lauren Marlowe. Now back to Myers. Myers drives. Baseline jumper just long. Hyman there for the rebound and the putback. Hyman and Sky Myers leading the scoring effort so far for this Lady Jackets basketball team. Barclay across the timeline. She's going to work to her right. Now she'll go back to the left side to Marion Barrow. Barrow picks it up, gives it back to Barclay. Barclay back to Barrow. She's going to work to her left. They go to Ortiz. Ortiz back to Barrow, but it's stolen by Alexander. She picks it up and gives it to Myers. Myers is going to drive. She's going to go around Barclay, and she gets that one to fall. Just a good athletic move there by Sky Myers to get around Haven Barclay, who is trying to defend. 20-4 is the score.
Yeah, good job on the one-handed layup there. Just made it look easy.
They try to go back to Barclay, and they turn it over. It's back to Sky Myers, and she is going to take it in and off the back glass again. Sky Myers absolutely torching the Cedartown defense.
Yeah, she's picking us apart, defensively speaking, and, of course, taking it down the floor and getting those points.
Marion Barrow. They'll swing it to the left side to Ortiz. They'll work it down low to Leah Washington. Her 360 spin and shot is no good. Loose ball rebounded by Barrow. Marion will bring it outside. Now they'll go to the top of the key to Barclay. She's going to fire from three. It's good. Just like that, Haven Barclay answers with one from beyond the arc of her own, and it's 22-7. Lady Dogs need a whole lot more of those, though, and they also need to figure out something defensively to try to stop Sky Myers in this Lady Jackets offense. Left side to Alexander. She's going to try to work around Ortiz. Has to give it back outside to Marlowe. Marlowe will go to Myers. Myers on the right side. They try to get it underneath to Hyman. It's knocked away, but she comes away with it. Three on the way. No good off the front of the rim. That was by Marlowe. Alexander with the rebound, and her shot, her putback is good. Charlie Todd was in her face, but she was still able to get it to go.
Behind the iron, too. She had to kind of let that one curl in there, and it went in easy. 24-7.
Barclay across the timeline now for the Lady Dogs. They'll work to the right to Barrow. Now back to Barclay, and that one's stolen. Zori Williams was just lying in wait and timed that jump perfectly. Sky Myers over to the right side to Marlowe. Marlowe, she's going to try to drive, a little floater, and that one is no good. Rebounded by Hyman. Hyman is just getting all the rebounds, but on the dribble, she gets it out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover.
Hyman was talking to the official over there and saying, hey, you missed a foul, and also you missed it coming out of bounds off of Cedartown, but that was not what the official saw. That's not what was called, and Cedartown will have possession back.
Barclay across the timeline over the right side to Barrow. She thought about a three, had to pull it down. She had two defenders in her face. They'll go to Leah Washington on the baseline. Now they'll kick it back out to Barrow. Barrow to Barclay. Barclay now to Chastity Washington on the other baseline. She's going to drive. Leah Washington with the save, back into Chastity Washington. The shot is up, and it's no good, but she was fouled. Washington will go to the free throw line and shoot two.
Foul's called to number 32, Emma Hyman there, Sam, her first.
And Chastity Washington with an opportunity to improve on her free throws. She doesn't get to go to the line a lot. She does not get a lot of calls. And that first one is short off the front of the rim. That's something that this whole squad needs to work on, but I would like to see Chastity really work on that, because I feel like in the years to come, Andrew, she's going to be handling the ball a lot more. Shot on the way up, and it is good. Second shot goes down for Washington, and it's 24-8.
I would certainly agree with that. She's already seeing the ball a lot. She's going to really see it a lot in the next 3 years.
Clark with it. We'll give it up to Marlowe. Marlowe trying to work it back to Alexander. They'll have to go to Zori Williams on the left side. Excuse me, Kaylee Huckabee, I apologize. Now back to Marlowe, now to Hyman. Hyman at the free throw line. She's going to try to drive around Leah Washington, and they're going to get a foul.
It's going to be on number 11, Leah Washington, her first. Foul on the floor. Only our first here in the second period.
Rockmart,
2 fouls total.
Rockmart will check it in. They go to Alexander. Oh, and she just runs all over Chastity Washington, and she's going to pick up the charge.
I mean, ran her over. I mean, just absolutely leveled her, and it was definitely the right call. Cedartown will get the ball back.
Haven Barclay across the timeline, left side to Chastity Washington, and she's going to be fouled.
And again, it's 32, Emma Hyman, her second.
4:21 left to play here in the second period. It's 24-8. Lady Dogs trail. Bulldogs, of course, will play following this game. Chastity Washington launches a three, and it's just a little bit long. Loose ball is tracked down by Barclay. Barclay gives it back to Washington. Washington. And she's going to be fouled again.
So this time it's going to be Zori Williams who picks up the foul. That is team foul number, it's her second personal foul and fourth for the Jackets here. And really all 4 of these have been the last couple of minutes.
They'll check it into Haven Barclay. Barclay in the front court for the Lady Dogs. She's going to go to her right side to Barrow. Barrow back to Barclay. Barclay to Washington. Washington wanted to drive, has to kick it back out to Barclay. She will drive the lane. Dish underneath to Leah Washington on the baseline. They try to get it back to Barclay. It's knocked away, but Haven's able to corral the loose ball. Left side to Chastity. Chastity back to Barclay. 4 on the shot clock. Got to shoot to Charlie Todd. Her shot is up, and it is good.
That's great.
Good movement there by Barclay to get it to Todd. Good shot there by Todd. 24-10. Lady Dogs trail by 14. Over to the right side to Clark. Clark, shot on the way from Huckabee. That three-pointer is up, and it is good.
Got to give it to Huckabee. Leah Washington was right there. Had a hand in front of her face, but still made the three go in.
Well, and we know we've got to guard against that perimeter shooting because Rockmart can hit from there. Barrow to Barclay. Now to Charlie Todd from the free throw line, and that one is good. Charlie Todd able to hit on back-to-back shots.
She's another one we're going to see a lot of in the future years. She is really starting to show her prowess. She's kind of forced into service with some injuries, but she has really played well.
Over to the left side, they'll give it to Zori Williams. Williams trying to get it underneath to Marlowe, and they're going to get Leah Washington on the foul. Leah trying to get in there to disrupt that pass, and she just came over the back too hard and committed the foul on Lauren Marlowe of the Lady Jackets. Sky Myers will check back into the ball game for Rockmart. Inbounds pass on the way. They're going to go to Huckabee in the right wing. Now they'll kick it outside to Marlowe. Marlowe from the free throw line. That one is no good. Maren Barrow comes away with it. She's going to give it up to Haven Barclay. Approaching 2.5 minutes left to play here in the opening half. Over to the left side to Barrow. Barrow will work back to the middle of the floor to Barclay. Barclay directing traffic, wants to get it to Chastity Washington. And she almost overthrew Barrow, who just has to throw it back in, and it goes to Rockmart. Now they'll go to the far left side to Zori Williams. Williams with it. Underneath to Marlowe. Marlowe wide open, takes it straight to the glass and gets it to go. Coach Wiggling not happy with the officials about a call on the other end of the floor, pleading his case, but didn't get anywhere with it. Left side to Washington. Washington goes to Barclay. Back to Washington. Washington's going to drive. She was fouled twice. There we go. We'll at least get the second foul called on her. We didn't get the first one, but we got the second one, and it's going to be on number 14, Lauren Marlowe. That's going to be her first. Washington will go to the free throw line. She's 1 for 2 so far, and she will shoot 2. First shot on the way is up, and it is no good from Chastity Washington. Lady Dogs will be shooting from this point forward in period number 2 when we get fouls. We're in the bonus now. Washington gets set, ready to take her second shot. It is up, and it is no good. Rebounded by Rockmart. Sky Myers across the timeline. She's going to try to work around Barclay. She drives. Oh, and they just ran into each other, and Sky Myers takes it straight to the glass. Haven Barclay and Leah Washington collided, and that left a clear path for Sky Myers to take it to the glass. Barrow to Barclay, Barclay to Washington. Washington, she's going to fire one from the left wing, and Chastity Washington gets that one to go. She's got 7 on the night.
(31-15).
I've got 14.
So do I.
There they go. They fixed it now. Zori Williams with it over the left side. Now they'll give it to Marlowe. She's going to turn. Had 2 defenders in her face. Shot was no good. Rebounded by Charlie Todd. Todd and Leah Washington.
I mean, if we're giving extra points, we'll take it.
We'll take it. All that we can get. Barrow to Barclay. Barclay to Washington. That shot again from the same spot is short this time. Lauren Marlowe with the rebound. She'll give it up to Sky Myers. Myers will bring it across for the Lady Jackets. Far side of the court. Now she'll work back to the middle. Top of the key, over to the right side to Clark. Clark on the right angle. They'll give it back to Sky Myers, the other side of the court. They try to work it underneath, and Charlie Todd is there for the steal. She's going to give it up to Barclay. Barclay across the timeline. Over to the left side. Washington steps into that shot, and it just skipped off. But Barrow's there for the rebound. She'll bring it outside. Now they'll give it to Barclay. Barclay to Todd. Todd wanted to take a shot from the free throw line. Couldn't get it to go, but she tried to pass underneath to Washington, and it is picked off by the Lady Jackets, I should say.
She'll learn not to make that mistake there because there was nobody there to pass it to. She would have been better off probably going for the shot. There's a long 3. Holy smokes, it almost went in.
She shot that one from Marble Street. Couldn't get it to go. Haven Barclay with a shot at the end, and it does not go either. 31-14 is your score. The Lady Dogs trail as we'll go to halftime. You're listening to Cedartown High School Lady Dogs basketball here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA. We'll be back after this 60-second break. We'll talk about the first half and what do we need to do in the second half to improve. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors here on the Big AA.
Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. For oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Welcome back. We're at the half, and Cedartown trails Rockmart 31-14, along with Sam Branch. Andrew Carter here with you from the Doghouse. Pretty much been nonstop action since we started our broadcast up. The game started early with no announcements or national anthem, so we were a bit late getting on, but you just missed a couple of shots. Sam, of course, kept up with the stats diligently through that time period, but right now we've got a few of our rec players out there just doing some shooting out there on the court, and Cedartown trying to come back against Rockmart, but Rockmart is just showing that, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they're exploiting our weaknesses. Earlier in the game, Sam, they were pressing us big time and forcing turnovers, and then Cedartown was forced to maybe make some shots or passes they may not want to do on the other end, and it forced turnovers to occur, and Rockmart's been very good of turning turnovers into points.
Yes, you're right about that. A tale of really two completely different first halves. If you look at the first half of this game compared to the first half of the last time that these two teams played, Cedartown had a 1-point lead at halftime the last time that these two teams saw each other. They went into the half with a 16-15 lead. Well, we're right at the number of points. We got 14. We're just too short of what we scored in the first half against Rockmart last time. However, Rockmart has come out really strong in the first half. They've put up 31 points in the first half. So a big half for Rockmart. And it's coming from everywhere, but mainly their perimeter shooting. Rockmart has hit 5 threes in the first half. 3 of those belong to Sky Myers, who has 15 points so far. Leading scorer for the Lady Dogs is Chastity Washington. She's got 6 on the night so far. Marion Barrow has been held scoreless, and that's a big telltale sign right there that shows you just how well the Lady Dogs are playing when Marion Barrow is held scoreless in the first half. Of course, Cedartown playing without Anna Kate Bussey, who is still injured. They are playing without Asia Ware, who is we'll just leave it at that she's not here today. And that they've got to fill those. They've got to fill those positions and put somebody in there that can play those same roles and try to do so as well. Charlie Todd, though, has been really good off the bench for the Lady Dogs. She started today, of course, and she's got 4 on the afternoon so far. Both of those have been from, right around the stripe. But Leah Washington's having to put in a lot of time. And Washington, of course, she's been playing with a knee brace on the entire season. You see Leah...
She missed the entire year last year because of that.
Because of that, right. And you see her come into the game a lot, and she'll put up a lot of minutes for the Lady Dogs, but she also typically she gets to rest a good bit. But that's not the case so far, and so we're going to just have to see, how well the Lady Dogs will be able to battle late in this game. Iris Ortiz came in for just a few minutes, and that's it. Other than that, we've had the same starting 5 on the floor the entire first half.
And it's been fast action. It's been fast paced, and you have to worry that that may play a factor in the second half, as you were saying, Sam. But I really think the Lady Bulldogs, if they can just limit those turnovers, I think they've got a chance to close in on the score, albeit a pretty big deficit to overcome right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that I would like to see, and maybe they could work on, is slowing down the tempo of the game. We are not a team that is built for fast breaks.
No.
We just aren't. We don't transition well. We don't take care of the ball well when we're in a hurry and when we try to rush it and go on a fast break. So let's slow it down. Let's slow the tempo down a little bit, and let's make Rockmart play to our tempo. Defensively, let's move up our defensive stand a little bit. Let's pick them up at half court instead of waiting until they get closer to that 3-point line, because they're going to shoot that 3 ball if they can. So you've got to figure out a way to defend against the 3-point shot, because Rockmart has hit from there. Like I said, they've hit 5 in the first half. Slow down the tempo. Figure out a way to keep them from shooting so much from the perimeter. And Cedartown might have a chance at getting back into this.
Some positive things I've seen today. One has been the play of Chastity Washington. She continues to play well. She continues to have chances. And I think as she gets older with more experience, she's going to have more chances to make some shots go. And I think she will be able to do that. Also, Charlie Todd. We mentioned that she's had a lot of playing time today. She's had a lot of playing time of late. And Charlie has taken advantage of that. She's also been good on defense. She's had several takeaways. She's forced some turnovers. And she's the kind of person that you're going to love to continue to see get better as we go throughout the rest of this season, which is just one more game after this. And then as we go into the next several years, I feel like she's going to be a core of this team. This team next year is probably going to struggle a little bit too. I think they're going to win more games than this year. But it's a team that's really started the rebuilding process. This year was, I think, the very start of that. Last year we lost two really good basketball players, and Kiana Watson and Kiki Turner the year before that. And then, of course, last year we had some devastating injuries that took some of our star players out. And then this core group right here had to come out and get a lot of starting time late in the season last year. And now they're out. They're the starters.
Well, yeah, because you lost Michaela Jordan last year. You lost Ivory Boozer last year.
And Mary Sil Brumby.
And you lost Mary Sil Brumby. And those were three big.
3 of your 5 starters.
Absolutely. 3 big parts of that Lady Dogs, starting 5. But like you said, they've come in and they've been able to fill those roles as best they could. And, one thing that we've been able to do the last 2 games, Andrew, is we've been able to talk to one of the coaches after the game. And I was talking with Casey McGee, who's one of the coaches there for the Lady Dogs team. And one thing that, I took away from the conversation that she and I had that we both agreed on is that these girls know that they are giving everything that they've got right now. They are playing absolutely up to the best of their abilities every single night. And they're only going to get better. They're only going to continue to improve. They're only going to continue to grow. And she echoed some of the things that Coach Levi Wigley, the head coach of the Lady Dogs team, she echoed some of those sentiments that he had when we were able to talk with him Tuesday night after the game here. We've got a really good middle school team. We've got some good 8th graders that are going to be coming up next year that will probably be on this team and could very well be seeing some playing time coming off of the bench. It's not like they're going to come in as freshmen and they're going to have to ride the bench the entire game or entire season.
No, I think they're going to get some very valuable playing time as we get into the 2023-2024 season next year. So a lot of things to look forward to. Lady Dogs squad coming out of the locker room as we speak. And, of course, don't forget, later on tonight, going to have the big matchup between the Bulldogs and the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a revenge. It's going to be highly charged. That game, of course, went into overtime last time we played at Rockmart, and Rockmart ended up winning that game. It was by far the best game Cedartown had played all season long.
Absolutely.
And let's see if they can continue that this time. But we've got another half of play here to get going here in this girls matchup. We're just about ready to start the second half of play here at the Doghouse. Got a good crowd here for the girls matchup. I expect a few more folks to trickle in here, and we should have a full house for the boys game, and that would be a great way to close out the regular season here, or the season in general here at home, with a full capacity crowd.
Absolutely. We did not get to mention this at the top of the broadcast, of course, because we had to jump in mid-game. Cedartown is wearing their normal home white uniforms. For those of you who are out in Radio Land and not viewing this on video, they are in the normal white uniforms trimmed in red and black, red letters, red numbers, and the Lady Jackets are in their road black uniforms trimmed in gold with gold letters and gold numbers. Rockmart will have the ball to start this second half of play, and they do so with a 31-14 lead. Inbounds pass goes to Sky Myers. She'll bring it across the timeline. For the Lady Jackets, we're underway. They'll try to work it down low. Now they kick it back outside. Myers left wide open, and she's going to fire from three-point range, and she can't get that one to go. Charlie Todd there with an aggressive rebound.
Like we said, Charlie Todd kind of inserting herself into the game with some big defensive plays.
Over the left side to Barrow. Barrow's going to fire a three, but it is blocked by Hyman out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Dogs. Leah Washington was trying to kick that one back in, but it was just a little too late, and Rockmart will get the basketball back. And the clock is just running.
And now it's not running.
They're going to play catch-up right there. There we go. Over to the left side, Clark, but Chastity Washington is there to knock it away, but it'll be out of bounds.
Got to get our screen clock synchronized up.
Clark will check it in to Sky Myers. Myers at the top of the key, over to the right side to Zori Williams. Williams will give back to Myers. Myers will back things out. Now they'll go underneath to Hyman in the lane. They'll kick it back out to Huckabee. Huckabee to Clark. Clark, top of the key, going to try to work through some defenders. She throws one up, a desperation, but she traveled first. It'll be a turnover.
7:03 to go, 31-14. Lady Dogs will have it back. See who's going to score first in this second half.
David Barclay with it across the timeline for the Lady Dogs. Right side to Chastity Washington. Washington tries to get it to Barron Barrow, but Hyman is there for the steal. She'll go ahead to Myers. Myers all by herself. Off the back glass gets that one to fall.
And Rockmart answers the call, 33-14.
Sky Myers, and Emma Hyman really leading the charge for this Rockmart Lady Jackets team. Barclay tries to drive around Zori Williams, and they're going to call her for a foul. It's going to be, that's her third. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. Leah Washington will check it into Chastity Washington on the far left side. Trying to work back to Barclay, and they've got a foul on the floor.
They're going to get number 2 on the foul. That's Sky Myers, her second foul.
Cedartown will check it back in. Chastity Washington with it. She gets it to Barrow. Barrow to Barclay. Oh, she throws it away. She was trying to work it back to Barclay and just threw it away, and Barclay wasn't able to track it down, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. Those are the kind of things that you just can't do and expect to be able to win basketball games. Hyman with it, top of the key. She's going to drive the lane, take it to the glass, and she is blocked by Charlie Todd. Todd also showing a little bit of attitude down there.
I like it.
We got to get something going. That might just be some of the spark that this Lady Dogs team needs really to claw back into this one. 3-point attempt on the way from Huckabee. It is up, no good, and there's Charlie Todd for the rebound. Todd to Barclay. Barclay will bring it down the floor, near side. She's going to drive. Now she'll back things out. Oh, it goes to Leah Washington. It's knocked away. Barrow gets it, though. They'll go to the left side of Chastity Washington, and it is knocked away, and it's going to be the foul. Sky Myers pleading her case with the official.
That's her third foul, and if she gets in foul trouble, that's going to be kind of major for Rockmart if she's not able to stay out there. But I think she's going to, due to Rockmart's personnel, I think she's going to have to stay out.
Yeah, I think I would let her go until she goes to 4. Barrow with a 3-point shot on the way. No good. Rebounded by Huckabee. Huckabee will give it to Myers. Myers will push it up the floor. Far side of the court. She's going to work to her right. Now she's going to fire a 3. No good. Rebound. There's when she lost it. Hyman with a shot. It's up and no good, but she's going to be fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And they will get Charlie Todd on that foul.
They got Leah Washington.
Sorry, Leah Washington. Beg your pardon, her third.
And Hyman goes back to the free throw line. First time here in the second half, third time overall, and her first one is up and no good, just off the back of the rim.
Speaking of Charlie Todd, she's back here on the bench, or not on the bench, but talking to Coach Wigley. Wigley giving her some pointers.
Shot is up off the front of the rim, no good. A rare double miss there by Hyman. Barclay with the rebound, tries to work it down low to Todd, and it's out of bounds.
A visually frustrated Sky Myers there trying to insert herself defensively there, and she's able to do that. She gets the inbounds pass.
So Myers will bring it down the court for Rockmart, far side. They'll go to the left side now to Clark. Clark will swing it to the left wing. Now they'll come back to Clark. Clark, left side again to Huckabee. Now back to Clark. Over to the right side now to Sky Myers. Myers at the top of the key. Lady Jackets trying to get something offensively going. She's going to drive, takes it all the way to the glass, splits 3 defenders, and gets it to roll.
Yeah, she's great athletic ability right there to get under there, and the one-handed layup there is just something great to look at.
Aaron Barrow to Leah Washington. Washington on the baseline. Tries to go back outside, but it's knocked away by Huckabee, and Myers comes away with it. Now she's going to drive. She'll slow up, wait for help. Now she'll call the play. Left side now to Huckabee. Huckabee in the wing. Goes back to Myers. Myers, top of the key. They'll go to Clark. Clark's going to drive down to the right corner. She'll give it up to Zori Williams. Now back outside to Myers. Now to Hyman in the lane. Hyman kicks out. 3 on the way. No good. And Charlie Todd fighting for the rebound. Leah Washington comes away with it. Good effort there by Todd underneath for the Lady Dogs. Haven Barclay across the timeline. Top of the key. Over to the right side of Aaron Barrow. Left side. Now they'll try to work it underneath.
Where's the foul there?
I don't know. They tried to get it to Charlie Todd, and it's out of bounds last touched. Oh, no. They're going to call Charlie on they're going to call her for a foul.
They should have. There was a foul on her about two seconds before that, and Cedartown got robbed on that one.
Sky Myers off the inbounds pass over to the right side to Zori Williams. Williams on the right wing. Now they'll go to Hyman. Hyman trying to work in the lane. Good shot, though. No good. And it's out of bounds last touched by Rockmart. Lady Dogs will get the ball back. 35-14 is your score. Approaching 3:45 left to play here in the third period. Haven Barclay across the timeline. Top of the key, left side to Chastity Washington. Washington back to Barclay. Barclay to Washington. She's going to fire to three. It is up. No good. Rebound by Leah Washington, and we've got a whistle and a jump ball.
Should be Cedartown ball, yes. Rockmart have possession to start, and it has not changed since then, so Cedartown will have the pass.
Leah Washington trying to get it into Barrow, but it's to Charlie Todd. Her shot is up and no good. She gets her own rebound, throws it back up, no good. Barrow with the rebound and the putback. It's no good, but she's fouled.
Sam, that's one of the best offensive series we've had there with rebounding, and it's going to be on Sky Myers, her fourth foul. And that'll send Marion Barrow to the free throw line to shoot two. But give Charlie Todd credit there for getting 2 rebounds.
Barrow's first shot is up and no good. Just kind of skipped off the front of the rim and rolled out to the right side. Clark will come out, and number 14, Lauren Marlowe, will check back into the game for the Lady Jackets. Barrow gets set. Shot on the way. It is up, and it is good. She drained that one. That's her first points of the night.
First points of the second period for Cedartown as well.
35-15 your score. Just under 3.5 to play. Sky Myers on the right side. Now they'll go underneath to Alexander, who was left wide open. She can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Hyndman. Her putback is no good. And Leah Washington with the rebound, and they're going to get a foul. It's going to be on number 32. And then they got her for a tech.
She must have said something. That's all I can say, because she was showing her displeasure with the call, and let's see who they're going to send out there to throw it. Coach Wigley wanting some explanation. Looks like Marion Barrow will go out there. She's been probably the best free throw shooter tonight. She'll have 2 at the line with tech shots.
First one is up, and it is good. 35-16. Shot on the way from Barrow, and it is up off the back of the rim, no good. And Cedartown will now have possession coming off of the free throws from the technical. Inbounds pass on the way. It goes to Barclay. Barclay across the timeline. Top of the key over to the right side of Barrow. Barrow fires a three. It is up, and it is good. Marion Barrow hits from beyond the arc.
Off the glass. Good-looking shot. Cedartown down by 16 now.
Myers across the timeline. She's working on the right side, tries to go around to pick. She'll have to kick it out to Zori Williams, who fires a three. It's going to be short. Rebounded by Hyman, and she throws it back up, and she is fouled. They're going to get Charlie Todd. That's going to be her second. And Emma Hyman will go back to the free throw line for the 4th time tonight. Twice in the first half, now the second time here in the second half. First shot is up, and it is no good. She is now 0 for 3 here in the second half from the strike. Shot is up, and it is good from Hyman.
Back to a 17-point game, 36-19.
Haven Barclay will bring it across the timeline, right side to Barrow. Barrow tried to work it underneath the Todd. She'll have to go back outside to Barclay. Now to Washington. Washington wanted a three. Has to go to Barclay, now to Barrow. Barrow, she's going to fire a three. She was fouled. No call, though. Rebounded by Zori Williams. Williams fighting with Charlie Todd over it, and they've got a foul. They're going to get, number 4, Zori Williams. Charlie Todd was all over Williams.
Cedartown might have gotten away with one right there, I think. Although Zori was kind of actively involved in that, but she was not the instigator.
No, but she made a real aggressive move against Todd. Off the inbounds pass, Barclay's shot is up, and it is no good. Leah Washington's going to chase down the loose ball, and they're going to get her for a travel. But I tell you what, good hustle there by Washington. She just couldn't come to a total, complete stop after tracking down the loose ball. Sky Myers off the inbounds pass. She'll bring it across the timeline. Over to the right side now to Zori Williams. Williams. Hyndman at the top of the key. Left side to Alexander. Alexander drives on the baseline. Shot is up, and it is no good. And they're going to get Charlie Todd.
She's getting on up there and fouls her third with 2:05 left to go here in the third quarter.
Cambria Alexander goes to the free throw line. First shot is up, and it is good.
A left-handed shooter as well. 37-19. 18-point lead.
Second shot is up from Alexander. No good. Rebounded. Rockmart had it for a moment, but then Marion Barrow was able to knock it away, and Haven Barclay picks it up. Barclay across the timeline, tries to work around a defender. Sky Myers picked her pocket, though, and she's going to drive 2 defenders on her, and they're going to get Chastity Washington.
Try to reach in there, and that's the right call.
Yep. The official, I think, the coach, I believe, actually was trying to get, the coach was trying to get, I think, maybe a flagrant call on Washington, but that you're not going to get that call. She was making a basketball move. Sorry. I mean, it was a hard foul, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to get that as a flagrant foul when she's trying to make a basketball move as Sky Myers hits her first of 2 free throws. Myers gets set and fires for the second one, and it is good. 39-19. Back to a 20-point lead for Rockmart. Barclay with it. Over to the right side to Barrow. Barrow works it underneath to Charlie Todd. Todd back outside to Barrow. Barrow fires a 3. It is up, and it is no good. And Charlie Todd was trying to go for the rebound, and she gets called for the foul. You can't do that.
It's going to be 1-1 here. That's Cedartown's 6th team foul, and each side has 6. And the 4th for Charlie Todd. That is not good news.
Not at all. Lauren Marlowe to the free throw line. She'll be shooting at least 1. First shot is up and no good. Out of bounds. Last touch by Rockmart. Cedartown will check it in to Haven Barclay. Right at a minute and a half left to play here in the third period. They'll go to the top side now to Barclay. Barclay top of the key. She'll give it to Chastity Washington, who's going to drive the baseline. Shot is up, and it is no good, but she is fouled.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Great job by Chastity to drive the hoop, forcing contact. And Chastity to the line for 2 shots.
They got Emma Heinman on that foul, and that is her 4th, according to my calculations. So some Rockmart Lady Jackets in foul trouble here in the third period. Chastity Washington, first free throw is up, and it is no good. It was short. Heinman will come out, and Huckabee will check back in. Washington gets set. Second free throw attempt is up, and no good. Rebounded by Charlie Todd, though, and she dropped it, and Rockmart picks it up. Sky Myers with it. Across the timeline.
And Charlie's got to take that shot immediately because she had nowhere to go with it, no room to dribble.
Marlowe with it over to the right side to Zori Williams. Williams trying to do something with it, wants to give it to Myers. She puts it on the floor. Now she goes to Marlowe. Marlowe at the free throw line, and they'll kick it out, and they're going to get a foul.
They're going to get Haven Barclay.
Yep.
And it will be her foul. It's her first. That's the 7th. Each side has 7 fouls. A lot of stoppages of play here in this third quarter.
Well, we talked about slowing down the tempo, but we didn't want them to do it that way. First shot is up for Marlowe, and no good. And a loose ball rebounded by Huckabee. Huckabee will kick it back out to Alexander. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Charlie Todd. Todd gives it to Haven Barclay. Barclay down to Washington. Washington to drive the baseline. Out of bounds. Last touch by Myers. She was trying to tiptoe on that line, and she just couldn't do it.
Myers didn't have the ball in her hand when she stepped out of bounds, but she had possession. They're going to call that every time.
Off the inbounds pass, Barclay with a 3 on the way, no good. Rebounded by Leah Washington. Washington turns, shot is up, and it is no good. Rebounded by Charlie Todd. You got to take it straight back up.
But she got fouled anyway.
Yes, she did.
And probably going to be fortunate that she'll go to the line to shoot 2. They're going to say it was a shooting penalty. I think she was more trying to pass it, but the official said it's a shooting foul, and we'll take that.
Well, I think it's because they're now in double bonus.
That's true.
So she's going to shoot 2 regardless, and that first one is up and no good. Just off to the right. Barrow comes in, gives her a high five, and says Settle down. You're all right. You got it.
Sam, in this new rule day and age where team fouls reset every quarter, that's no good. Rebound, out of bounds. Last touch by Cedartown will be Rockmart basketball, but you hardly ever see double bonus anymore.
You really do, yeah. Lots of fouls here in this third quarter. The good news is it's been committed mainly by Rockmart and mainly by the starting five of Rockmart. Cedartown has really kind of spread their fouls out. Nobody really is in foul trouble except for Charlie Todd, who's playing with 4. Sky Myers over to the right side of Zori Williams. Williams in the corner. She'll kick it back out to Myers. Myers over to the left side to Clark. Clark, she's going to work back to the middle of the floor. Now she'll go to the left side to Huckabee. Huckabee tries to get it underneath to Marlowe. Knocked away by Leah Washington. Picked up by Chastity Washington. She's going to drive. Oh, and she has it stolen from her by Myers. Sky Myers comes away with it. Leah Washington sticking right with her, and she knocks it away out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, they're letting them play right now. There was a foul on this end and a foul on the other end. Neither one were called.
So Rockmart will get it back with 9 seconds to go. They'll check it into Zori Williams. Far right side, she's going to try to drive the baseline. Barrow's there to kick her back out. Steal by Chastity Washington, but Sky Myers picks it up. She launches a 3. It's no good. Loose ball. Huckabee gets a shot off, but it will not be good. It would not be had been in time anyways. And that'll do it for the third period. We will go to the fourth. Lady Dogs trail 39-19. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors here on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network, the Big AA.
Have you been to Croker's Hardware and Supply lately? Croker's is the place to find everything you need, from boots to fencing, from plumbing supplies to wood and gas stove fittings, everything, even paint and flooring. Whether you're building or repairing, everything you need is right here at Croker's Hardware on East Avenue. Name brands galore right here in your back door. Orca and Yeti coolers and tumblers, case knives, native eyewear, buck stove grills, and more. At Croker's, you can find everything.
Go by and see the friendly staff there at 1192 Rockmart Highway. That's Croker's Hardware in Cedartown.
Bradford's Drugstore on North Main Street in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember Bradford's for all of your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacist takes time to get to know you, explain your medication, and answer any questions that you may have. Go by and see Bill Brewster and all the fine folks at Bradford's the next time you need a prescription filled. Also use their convenient drive-thru. Bradford's Drugstore, 500 North Main Street, Cedartown, 770-748-3100. And all the folks at Bradford say, go Dogs.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Rockmart will get it to start this fourth period of play, 39-19. Lady Jackets with a 20-point lead. But a couple of big parts of their offensive production are in foul trouble. Clark on the right side. They'll give it to Williams. Williams will try to get it back to Clark, now in the middle of the floor. Top of the key. Clark's going to try to go around. Washington has to pick up her dribble and give it to Huckabee. Huckabee now is going to fire to Sky Myers. Myers on the angle. She's going to work back to the middle. Now she tries to work around, go to the baseline, dish over to Williams. She's trapped in the corner, has to go back outside to Marlowe. Marlowe now to Myers. Myers.
5 on the shot clock.
Has to do something with it. Launches a long 3, and it is no good. Rebounded by Merritt Barrow. Barrow will give it back to Barclay. Barclay across the timeline. Now to Barrow. Barrow to Barclay. She'll kick it back to Barrow. Now back to Haven. Haven will work to the middle of the floor. They'll kind of reset now, see what they can get going. They'll give it to Chastity Washington, back to Barclay. Barclay to Washington. Back to Barclay. Back to Barrow. Barrow's going to try to drive. Has to do something with it. Kicks out to Barclay, who fires a 3. No good. Charlie Todd tracked it down, got it to Marion Barrow, and she's fouled.
Very good job there by Cedartown to save that. Foul called, I believe, on Marlowe, number 14, her third.
Good hustle there by Charlie Todd to save it, and good job there by Marion Barrow to be able to receive the pass. Inbounds pass goes to Barclay, who fires a 3. It's up and no good. Still fighting for the rebound. Chastity Washington comes away with it. Oh, and they're going to get her for a travel.
There was an obvious foul down here that was not called. A defender for Rockmart was all over the back of Chastity Washington. She's still trying to shake it off on the other end. Just a terrible no call.
Sky Myers will bring it down the floor for Rockmart. Across the timeline. She's going to work to her right. Now they'll go back to the left side to Clark. Huckabee on the wing. All the way to the other end to Sky Myers. Myers, oh, and she's going to drive right around the wing, and she picks up the charge, and that might be her 5th.
It's a great job by Marion Barrow to
if it's not,
draw that up.
If it's not, it's her 4th, and it's going to be her 4th. So Myers, according to what I've got, Myers is a foul away from being done. Zori Williams is a foul away from being done. And Emma Hyman is a foul away from being done. Right now, Hyman's the only one that's not on the floor for the Lady Dogs, or Lady Jackets.
They're going to get Leah Washington on a foul and a push. That's Leah's fourth. So now Cedartown has Leah Washington and Charlie Todd with 4 fouls.
And they don't have a lot of depth on the bench. They got Iris Ortiz, Shayna Chavez, Bella Howe, and Belle Wills that they can turn to.
We have time called by Coach Wigley. 6:07 to play in the ball game. Cedartown trails at 39-19. We'll be back after this here on the Big AA, the Cedartown High School Bulldogs Sports Network.
Rocky and Patty Tillery, 2 Cedartown High School graduates, and they stayed right here in the county and went into business. They employ right at 100 people, and they've been doing that for a long time. Most of their work is from out of the county, but they want to push our youngsters here, no matter what they're doing, Little League, Pony League, high school baseball, basketball, football, and soccer. And that's Polk County Public Service. They appreciate serving you.
Livewire Surplus. Stop in today at 546 North Main Street. New items are arriving all the time. At Livewire, they have unbelievable deals on lawnmowers, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. But that's not all. How about your patio? Livewire has top-of-the-line grills, patio tables and chairs, fire pits, and so much more. All fresh off the truck, brand new, still packaged, and priced to sell. Livewire Surplus, 678-861-5021. Take your truck. You're going to need it to load up on the savings.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Out of the timeout, Rockmart will have it with right at 6 minutes left to play. They also enjoy a 20-point lead here at the Doghouse. Final home game of the season for our Lady Dogs. Sky Myers with it at the top of the key. She's going to go to the right side to Zori Williams. 2 on the shot clock. Williams fires a 3-0, and she buries it.
Zori's just so good from the perimeter. She's been good her whole high school career, and she's showing it, continuing to show how good she is from outside the three-point line.
Barron Barrow on the right wing. They'll go back to Barclay. Barclay to Barrow. She's going to drive the baseline. Gets it to Leah Washington, but then is taken away by Marlowe. Marlowe picks up the loose ball. She gives it to Myers. Myers. Across half court for the Lady Jackets. Top of the key, they'll go to the left side to Huckabee. Huckabee thought about a 3, had to pull it down. Now they'll go back to Zori Williams, who's wide open again, but instead she gives it to Marlowe, who turns, takes a hook shot off the back of the glass, and it's good.
It's another good shot by Rockmart. They're getting him to go, and we're not. And they're stretching this lead out even farther.
44-19 is your score. Barclay left side to Washington. Washington going to go outside to Barrow. Barrow top of the key. And it's knocked away. Last touched by Barrow as it goes out of bounds.
I don't know about that call.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It obviously looked like it was knocked out of her hand, but that's not what the official saw.
Sky Myers across the timeline for the Lady Jackets. She's going to work to her right side. Now to Huckabee. Huckabee left corner to Clark. Clark on the wing. She's going to work around Todd, and she is fouled, and it's going to be on the floor. And that's going to be Charlie Todd's 5th, according to my accounting.
Yep, she's done. Looks like Iris Ortiz will come in for her. Charlie Todd's had a great game, but unfortunately comes to an early conclusion.
Yep, good effort, though, there by Charlie Todd. Cedartown on defense. Rockmart checks it in. They'll go to Marlowe. Her little shot's no good. Rebounded by Marion Barrow. Barrow gives it up to Haven Barclay. Barclay will bring it across the timeline. Over to Barrow. Barrow pulls it down, goes to Chastity Washington, top of the key. Now back to Barrow. Barrow trying to work around Clark. They'll go back to Chastity Washington. Washington, she's going to fire a 3, and it is off the back glass, no good. Rebounded by Barclay. The putback, no good. Out of bounds. Last touched by Rockmart. It'll stay Cedartown ball. Leah Washington will check it in for the Lady Dogs. They'll go to Barclay. Barclay drives the baseline, gives it to Barrow. Barrow shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Marlowe. Lauren Marlowe gives it up. Sky Myers will bring it down the floor for the Lady Jackets. Across the timeline. Left side now. Now they'll work it back to the middle of the floor. Myers with it over to the right side now to Zori Williams in the corner. She's going to work on that right wing. That's where Williams has been hanging out lately. They'll go over to the left side now to Huckabee. Huckabee underneath to Marlowe in the lane. Takes a shot up, and oh, she traveled with it. She will turn it over. And the Lady Dogs defense baring their teeth here with 3:23 left to play in the fourth.
It's one of the, I think, first mistakes we've seen Rockmart make tonight as far as turning the ball over on offense.
Barrow with it. She's going to fire a three. That's over Sky Myers' head and no good. And Marlowe is there for the rebound. They'll give it back to Sky Myers. Myers will bring it down the floor for Rockmart. Across the timeline, over to the right side to Zori Williams. Williams working underneath to Huckabee. Huckabee from the free throw line. It is up, no good. And out of bounds, last touch by Rockmart. Cedartown will get the ball back. Just under 3 minutes left to play. Lady Dogs are down 44-19. Barclay brings it across the timeline to Barrow. Barrow right side. Now they'll go back to Barclay. She's going to fire a three. Good! Haven Barclay with a three. That's her second one tonight.
Right off the rectangle.
Over to the right side to Zori Williams. Williams. Clark top of the key, left side to Myers. Myers, she fires a three. She wants to answer, can't do it. And we've got a rebound by Marion Barrow and then a tie-up with Zori Williams to force the jump ball.
Cedartown will keep possession with 2:24 to go in the game. Cedartown trails by 22, 44-22.
Barclay off the inbounds pass. They'll go to Barrow. Barrow to Ortiz. Ortiz will go back to Barrow. Barrow's going to drive, and she's going to be fouled.
So did they get number two? They sure did, Sky Myers, and she will be done, but they're going to sub out all 5 players for Rockmart anyway.
And that's the loudest anybody has been this entire game, and it's the Rockmart side cheering for their girls who were done for the night. Inbounds pass goes to Barrow, and they hit her for a travel.
I don't know about that.
Well, Coach Levi Wigley was standing there nodding his head yes. He said, yeah, you did.
Okay.
Inbounds pass goes to Jacambria Alexander. She's going to drive down top of the key over to the right side now. They'll work it back to the middle of the floor. They'll go to number 13, Graham. Graham will go to the right side to number 11, Clark. Clark tries to feed it underneath, and it's knocked away, and Chastity Washington's going to come away with it. All by yourself. Take your time. Off the glass. Good. Man, can you imagine what that young lady is going to be doing 2 years from now?
I'm telling you what.
Wow.
Even next year.
Yes, she is a special player for this Lady Dogs team. Haven Barclay with a steal. She's also going to be doing some special things. Her shot was no good. It was contested, but the rebound by Washington and the putback is good.
Hey, you know what? It's a 16-point game. I know there's only 1:30 to go, but Lady Dogs are trying to close in on this.
Well, they need to, for their confidence, for their emotional state, they need to put a charge into this one and another steal. It's Haven Barclay. Again, all by herself. Take your time, lay it in. No good. Washington there for the putback, and it's no good. Barrow now rebound, putback. It's no good. Rockmart comes away with it, and we've got a whistle and a double dribble.
Wow, the official on the far end, farthest away from the play, made that call, and Rockmart can't believe it.
I'm going to be honest, I can't believe it. That it's not butter. They'll check it in to Ortiz. Ortiz on the left wing. She's going to work around her defender. She throws a shot up off the front of the rim. No good. Leah Washington, the rebound. The putback, it's no good. Washington again with the rebound. Loose ball. Ortiz comes away with it, and we'll have a jump ball. It'll go back to the Lady Jackets with under a minute to play. They'll check it into Alexander. She's going to bring it down the floor. Top of the key over to the right side to Clark. Clark, she fires a three. No good. Rebounded by Barrow. And she is quickly fouled.
Number 11, Lila Clark commits the foul. Only a freshman for the Lady Jackets. Got a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there.
They'll check it into Haven Barclay. Barclay will bring it across the timeline. She's going to work to her right around Clark, and they're going to get Clark for the foul.
So second in less than a minute, less than 30 seconds.
Chastity Washington will check it in for the Lady Dogs. They go to Barclay. Barclay, top of the key over to the left side to Ortiz. She fires a three, but it is contested. Chastity Washington comes away with it, She throws a shot up, and she's fouled.
Going to get Jacambry Alexander, the sophomore, with that foul. Her second.
Chastity Washington goes back to the free throw line. She's got 7 points on the night so far for this Lady Dog squad. First shot is up and no good. Coach Wigley wants her to put a little more arc on that shot. See if we can't get that one to fall. Washington gets set. Second one on the way. That one does have a little more arc, and there it goes. Final 30 seconds here at home of the 2022-2023 season for this Lady Dogs team. Haven Barclay with a steal. She'll give to Chastity Washington. Off the glass, good. Washington and Barclay are making for a heck of a team here in the final moments against the Lady Jackets. Rockmart with it, drives off of her foot, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Rockmart. It was number 10, Jasmine Ramey. Cedartown will get it back with right at 10 to play. Barclay with it across the timeline. Left side to Barrow. Barrow fires a three. No good. Loose ball, and that's going to do it. The Battle of Polk County is once again claimed by the Lady Jackets of Rockmart by a final score of 44-29. The Lady Dogs fall here in their final home game of the 2022-2023 season. We'll wrap things up. We'll come back with some stats. We'll talk about it and look ahead to the boys' game. You're listening to the Cedartown High School Bulldogs Sports Network here on the Big AA.
Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for nearly a century. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call for tee time 770-748-9671, located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buchanan Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, Cedar Valley Golf Course.
One of the pillars of a strong community is knowing your neighbors. We believe it's important to know your neighbor. To know that the person down the street selling you your car is the person you'll see grilling with you at the block party. It's important to be a part of a community, and Peach State Ford is proud to be a part of historic Cedartown, Rockmart, and Rome, and even prouder to be rated one of the best in the country in customer service. Nobody knows trucks or people like Peach State Ford.
2076 Rockmart Highway, Cedartown, 866-872-6660.
Let's get back to the Cedartown Bulldogs right here on the Big AA.
Final score, 44-29. The Lady Dogs fall here at home against the Rockmart Lady Jackets. Leading scorer for your Bulldogs, or Lady Dogs, was Chastity Washington. Finished tonight with 13 points. Andrew Carter, is about time. She deserves it.
She does deserve it. She's shown such great prowess all throughout the season, getting better every game. And, man, I can't wait for the next 3 years with her on this Lady Dogs basketball team, with her speed and with her ability to take away and just her aggressiveness. It's just really great to see her start to show out here in her freshman year.
Haven Barclay finished tonight with 6 points. Marion Barrow finished tonight with 3. Charlie Todd finished tonight with 4. A good showing there late by our Lady Dogs. They kind of were able to get some things to click. Of course, Rockmart had to take out their starters because of foul trouble, so they subbed all 5 of them once the game was well in hand for the Lady Jackets. So the Lady Dogs will end their home season here. The last game will be on the road Tuesday. They'll travel to Southeast Whitfield to try to take down the Raiders. But really some good things that we saw from the Lady Dogs today, and we look forward to a bright future for the Cedartown High School Lady Dogs basketball team next year. But first, we got to go to our next game, and it's going to be a big one. The Cedartown Bulldogs, still looking to pick up their first win of the season, welcome the Rockmart Yellow Jackets. The last time these two teams met across the county, we had to go to overtime. Free basketball to decide it, and the Bulldogs would fall by a final score of 67-60. Will the Bulldogs be able to answer? Do they have something different planned for the Yellow Jackets? I know, Andrew, you and I do. We want to see a win out of this Bulldog team, and it's about time that we get one with only 3 games left on the schedule.
You know, Sam, I hate that we haven't won any games yet, but man, would it be sweet to get your first victory of the season in your last home game of the season, in your last game against Rockmart of the season as well. So I would love to see that happen, and we'll tell you all about it in about 12 minutes as we're about ready to get this thing going here, Cedartown and Rockmart, here at the Doghouse. And a reminder, next week, we've got baseball, Cedartown Bulldogs baseball on Monday. Cedartown will host Troup County in a scrimmage. Myself and Kelly O'Neill will be on the call for that. And then on Tuesday, we'll be at Southeast Whitfield for the region finale for both of these teams. The final game for the Lady Dogs, the second to last game for Cedartown. And then on Saturday, a week from today, we close out the season against Cartersville. And that'll be it for basketball on the Big AA this year. But then we really turn on the turn into overdrive, I should say, for baseball coverage, because the next week we've got 4 baseball games to cover for you, and we'll have them all for you on 106.1 FM and AM 1340, Facebook Live, YouTube, and of course the NFHS Network, our Cedartown High School Bulldog Sports Network of affiliates. And we thank you so much for being with us tonight for the girls matchup. The boys matchup, again, it's going to be a entertaining game to say the least, and we hope you'll join us for that coming up a little bit later. Cedartown High School basketball on the Big AA. Final score, Rockmart Lady Jackets 44, Cedartown Lady Dogs 29.
Cedartown. Your home for the Cedartown High School Bulldogs. AM 1340 and now 106.1 FM WGAA. The Big AA.